Welcome to 3 season of pop. We're back. We have like a 1 month hiatus.
Basically,
Almost.
too
Yeah.
long, too long.
If I sound fucked up, it's because I just woke up. but but yeah, we're back. So what are we? Episode 31, 32 of the Celtics
Something
movie,
like that.
something like
Probably.
that.
If
Hey
anything,
man,
you got the best idea.
yeah. I mean,
Honestly.
I mean, shit. Personal shit happens, but we're back. We didn't quit.
hmm
We're back. All right, so guys, we'll jump right into it. A lot of shit has happened within the last month that we've been gone with the
Basically,
Celtics.
yeah. Before it was
Uh,
like super dry.
yeah,
Now it's like we got at least
we got a lot of
some
shit to
stuff.
talk about now, but it's like a lot of wins happened. We got some losses, a lot of overreactions, a lot of
Yep,
shit
as
to talk
always.
about. But over that month, what did you guys see? What did you guys like? What did you guys dislike?
Nathan can go first.
Me? I mean, to keep it short, I think the best thing that I liked the most was just the way we start games. Like, I feel like our energy, like off the rip, like we bring the energy, and the game just looks like it comes easy to us. Like, you can see like the practice that we put in clearly translates to on court and stuff like that. And then just the chemistry is just growing, getting better every game. You can see like the guys, our top six, eight, and even our bench guys. Like, yeah, that's was the thing that we were talking about early. Like, we need another bench guy, stuff like that. But I think over the course of the wins, like you can see like our team like connected, and we're actually like we look like a championship squad, and we of course we are. But then like, and then the losses, it's like it's yeah, you get talks like, oh, this is like what's wrong and stuff like that. But I feel like that's the trajectory of the season. Like, you expect those growing pains, we always say. But just overall, I think the first half is it's like always our strong suit, and
Mhm.
then going to what I've disliked was just the way we play and we start the third quarter.
Oh my
Like,
god, that was on my list too. Yeah.
it's it's I feel like that's just the biggest thing that's been frustrating to watch. Like, we'll go up on teams, like we were like, all right, we'll just run them down. Like, this is gonna be an easy game, and then just third quarter comes around, it's like we're a whole different team. It's
Oh,
like we fully flip the switch. And it's like it's turned off now. It's like, all right, we just come out, we're stagnant. We just like, all right, the game is done. But the whole third quarter just flips the momentum. The game turns around. The other team. And kind of like that was in the in-season tournament game against the Pacers.
yeah.
hmm
That's exactly how I felt. Like, Halliburton just started taking over the game. We were kind of in panic mode. We didn't know, like, all right, how can we respond? And that just was the downfall of it. Like, yeah, we fought back in the third quarter. Fourth quarter came around. Halliburton again did that and took over, but I think it was a little bit too late. We didn't really establish what we wanted to do, and I think a big part of that was like, I think JT had to take that role, but I think he could only do so much. Again, he is our superstar, but I think it also falls onto JB, and he had to be that second star and kind of, you know, put these guys in positions to be successful. And just overall as a team, I think it was just a bad showing, but I think we have a lot to like learn from that and kind of just grow. And again, this is the first season of the in-season tournament, so I think it's going to be a good thing for the league.
Yeah. Specifically that Pacers game, I actually didn't hate it too much.
Yeah.
Like it did happen, and I do agree. Like the third quarter stuff has been on like my mind, my list, and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But that game specifically, I didn't hate because I felt like it was just a well like fought game from both sides and all that kind of
We
stuff.
just
Like we
got
both,
outplayed.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
Pacers
Yeah.
were acting in the like stupid way that we may play, or like very like disengaged and all that kind of stuff. It's a game of run, so it wasn't crazy that someone like the best offense in the NBA would go on a crazy run at certain points like that. And especially like in the fourth, I just felt like they just came up with big plays when we couldn't, and that was normal. Um, so I don't even think it was as much as like a JT or like a JB not stepping up or something. I think they both did pretty well. It was just like we didn't make the big plays. Plus, like their team overall definitely outplayed like our team overall. Like that was JT JB both dropping like 30 and not like winning essentially.
Very rare.
It's very, very rare. And like, yeah, like the Pacers, that's just kudos in my opinion to what the Pacers did and the big plays that like Hallie pulled off. Like like from that 4-point play, that shit that ended the game essentially.
Yeah.
We couldn't find like the composure after that. We were just trying to get one quick. But yeah, I mean, I think feel like obviously we're all feeling good about the Celtics with the record that they have. But like I envision that this is the floor of the team, and that is like pretty promising to me. We at least like for me, I can see how far out they can get, and we all have like championship aspirations and all that kind of stuff. But there's like a level of play that I expect or that I feel like we could get to, obviously with the whole squad. And yeah, I think this being the floor is very promising for the team. And we've also had like mixed lineups throughout this whole time, which is also why I say like this is the floor, because this is clearly the time that we're kind of just like, all right, let's like make sure everyone is actually healthy, so that when we get back to playing together, we're gonna like light it up again. And even throughout that stretch, like we did really, really well. We lost, I would say, like 2 frustrating games. The Magic, they just fucking outplayed us, like thoroughly. And with the Hornets one, that just was one that was like we clearly let our
we didn't give a fuck
off the gas pedal, man. It was crazy how it was just like, oh, they would like, it felt like they wouldn't be able to make the comeback, but then as soon as you feel that, they just like pull it out in the last like 2-3 minutes type shit. So that was frustrating in its own way, but like it felt like we had full control of that the whole entire time anyways. So outside of that, like I said, I'm completely fine with that Pacers game, because I just think that was just 2 high-level teams playing against each other, and one made the big plays. Yeah, I mean, honestly, outside of the third quarter thing.
Looking back to, because I wasn't able to watch the Pacers game live. I had to go back and watch it, like, I guess offline, if you want to say it like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I really feel like their role players just stepped up.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron Nesmith was acting different. Like who is this dude? Where were you when with our team? But no, like
he's got beef, man. He's got beef.
He
do
got beef, yo. Like you know what's funny? That motherfucker treats us like he's Max Strus did. Like, bro, it's like,
that's true.
Like, bro, you was playing like a scrub for us. Like, why are you taking this so personal, man? We traded you for an upgrade. It's not like we threw you into like, I don't know, the Charlotte Hornets or some shit.
Yeah, and even honestly, even Celtics fans are overreacting. Like, he just plays like pretty good. Like, he just has an energy guy. Yeah, like he's not doing nothing crazy.
He's not doing nothing crazy, but it do feel a little personal. Like,
no, it does. It does.
Like, I don't hate the guy. I like it. Personal. I'm like, yo, do what you gotta do, bro. Like,
well, people will be talking about like, yo, Nesmith is completely different on the Pacers and stuff like that. He was low-key doing this on the Celtics. Yeah, he just didn't get as much opportunity.
Yeah,
like he's always been.
He was doing it. He was doing it defensively. He was not hitting shots though.
Yeah, he wasn't. But I don't even feel like he hitting shots crazy now. Like he did in the Celtics game.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's just how it be.
Yeah, he only do it against us. But like anyway, like no, their role players stepped up. Like, T.J. McConnell been a really underrated player this season. Yeah, no, I just think they outplayed us, and overall, I like what you guys are saying. Where like this really does feel like the floor of the team. I feel like we've been tinkering with the lineups, and they've been kind of weird a lot of times. Like there'll be games where JT plays, I think 6 minutes, gets subbed out, comes back in the second quarter, and then or like last night he'll play like 6 minutes, gets subbed out, and then comes right back in 2 minutes. I'm like, Joe, what are we doing? Like I'm not a fan of that personally. Yeah. I think consistency is key, right? And continuity. And I would like to see a more consistent rotation, so to speak. But at the same time, it's like you guys alluded to, where the team is still figuring itself out. Like, I know we've been saying growing pains for this team for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But the truth be told, like, we have 2 new huge rotational pieces, and a lot of role guys on the bench are taking on newer, bigger roles. So I kind of understand why we're tinkering with the lineup, to give them more of an opportunity to kind of gel into their roles. I will say, to the bench thing, I'm going to talk about my concerns, because I feel like you guys touched upon the stuff that I liked already.
Mhm.
I do think we need another bench piece.
Sure.
I think Pritchard has completely turned around from that bum ass start.
Yep.
He's been really solid over the last 10 games.
Mhm.
I actually like what I've been seeing from Cornette. I know
Mhm.
he's like
He's just a funny guy.
he's like up and down in a sense, but for the most part, for what he is, he's been pretty good. I think.
I mean, I think the fact that there's actual competition has made
Yeah,
him play better
for
as well.
sure. I would like to
Because
see Keita get a little bit more of an opportunity, but
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like I said, it's good to have them both
yeah, for sure.
competing against each other right now because Cornette's doing things that he was not doing before,
No, for sure.
which is good.
Rim protection, bro.
Yeah. But I just think that like he's more of a floor player,
Yeah,
while like Keita is more of like a ceiling player.
for sure.
Yeah.
Where it's like we could see Keita being a lot better individually and all that kind of stuff, but that Cornette will not bring the team down being
Mhm.
there. He just may not do anything to lift it up.
He's more
Exactly.
he's more of an IQ guy.
Like,
Like he knows the
Yeah,
system.
but more recently he has been doing pretty good and like doing
Yeah.
stuff outside of like the realm of what we envision him to do.
A lot of it, I think, is because of the familiarity too.
For
He's
sure.
been with
Yeah.
these guys. He knows the run, like chemistry. He knows guys' strengths and weaknesses. So just him being out there, I think, is just a little more at ease for everybody around him. Like whereas if we played Keita, I feel like he's more of an energy guy,
Yep.
and he's newer to the role, so he's finding his niche and where he could thrive around these guys.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm a little disappointed in what we've seen, or I guess haven't seen from Lamar Stevens and O'Shea Brissett, because
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
felt like when we signed them at the time, I had, and obviously we didn't watch them on their respective teams, but for me, for the most part, they're not really on League Pass like that a lot,
Yeah.
or on NBA TV. But like whenever Lamar Stevens played the Celtics, he went off, or whenever
Yeah.
O'Shea Brissett played the
Oh,
Celtics, like last year, O'Shea Brissett hit like 5 threes against us in a couple
Yeah.
of years. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed in what we've seen because other than that one game against the Heat from O'Shea, like they've been a little disappointing, and for the most part, haven't gotten run. And when they did get run, it kind of proved to us why
And
they weren't getting run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're losing minutes to Delano Banton, like
Mhm.
I'm a little disappointed in that. So I think that really just highlights our need for another bench piece, whether it be a wing, a guard, or a big, whatever you prefer. I think we
Okay,
need.
I think Banton was slept on, bro.
He's been
Not that
actually
he's
solid.
anything great.
Yeah,
Yeah, not that he's
It's
anything
just-
great, but I think he has more of the feel
yeah,
for the game
Mhm.
compared to those guys, and he's more of like I feel like he's an actual project. While like
Mm,
Brissett and Lamar Stevens are who they are. A question mark is if they could ever develop a shot, but they're not. They're at the stage in the career where you already can tell like if they are making improvements or not. While like Ben, I think is actually still like young enough, and like I think he was like rookie last year.
was he a rookie last year? Oh.
Either that or like a second year player with the
Right.
Raptors because I remembered like tuning in a little bit, and like all the Raptors fans liked him anyways.
Yeah,
But
for
he just has like a good feel for the game and is like an actual, or not an actual, but like he's a guard. Like he was playing as a point
Mm.
guard. But the way that we're utilizing him is like in all those other spaces too, which is kind of cool because it's not forcing him to have a perimeter shot or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's also not like afraid to take those kinds of shots.
Mm. And he did play good in that spot start. I think when Drew and KP were out.
Yeah, it was funny though when he did. I was like, why the fuck?
That was so odd. That was so odd. But like, and I forgot to mention my guy Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser has been a legitimate role
he's been
player,
great.
man.
Yeah.
I love that guy. I think he's probably the reason where I would be okay if we don't get like a wing,
Yeah.
and if we signed like a big or a guard or traded for a guard instead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Caruso, right? But
He just got injured.
who got injured?
Caruso
Did he get injured? Oh shit!
yesterday.
Oh,
I don't know how the severity of it, but he did just get injured.
Oh fuck!
He's been injured.
That
Yo,
means
get well soon, though.
we can get it for cheap.
Yeah,
Buy low.
Buy low.
but no, like yeah. Other than that, I really feel like the outlook the outlook of this team is great. I know that there are people out there that still have concerns about this team. Right, that's fine, man. You can have criticism. I really feel like, at least for this year, I think in past years they were kind of valid because we did have a lot of mental lapses
Yeah.
that were very, very hard to watch. And I think outside of the third quarter this year, we've been really good, and I think I've been confident in this team.
Same
I
here.
I have like this unwavering confidence this year compared to like previous years. And man, I do think you gotta look outside of that shit, man. I feel like at this point, anybody like I still see Jaylen Brown slander, right? When I think he's been playing like really good this year. His numbers are down as far as scoring. He's not
Yeah,
as
I would just say
he's
his
not as
finishing
yeah, he's not as
has
efficient
been
as he
very,
was
very
last
off.
year. But like he's been better defensively, I feel.
Mhm.
And maybe this holds up, maybe it doesn't. He had a stretch last month, but like he's been really good, I guess, making decisions with the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
I know there was 2 games where he had 0 assists, but that's not because
Yeah.
he had he wasn't passing the ball. It's because nobody was hitting shots.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't hate that. That
Yeah.
was just like a nitpick stat and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've obviously had like my criticisms of JB overall and like
Sure.
my stance on him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he's been doing his job. Like, there's a lot less games, and I mean, we were like way more fixated on the playoffs, and that could
Mhm.
still remain true. But it was just like that his weaknesses were,
Right.
highlighted because they can be highlighted in playoffs. But I think even overall, like as he's been going through this regular season, he has been playing better. There are obviously like few duds, like you're saying, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like weird efficiency that I probably don't think will hold true because
Right.
he's always been a great like finisher.
Yeah.
And his shooting is, I mean, I think it's still like relatively the same in terms of shooting. I think really just that the finishing has brought down a lot of percentages and stuff. So I like have no worries there. I would say like the only thing that I can agree with or like
From the
kind of
nitpicking.
understand,
Yeah.
no, kind of understand from people who are like still doomers and all that kind of stuff. We're like extremely worried is that there's no guarantee that we do hit our ceiling. If like we remained at this level, I don't think that it's enough to win a championship against any of like the top teams. So that would be my only concern. But it's like we haven't even had the time to see them play enough to say that they won't reach that ceiling. It's been a lot of mixed lineups and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's crazy for people to be like, I guess, scared or blah blah blah. Like I don't agree with it.
Right.
But that there is a chance that we just never hit that
Right.
ceiling of like we're firing at all cylinders, and
I feel
we
like
really do have that chemistry together.
I get it though. Like we're all Celtics fans. We know like
Yeah.
you gotta expect the doom and gloom, right? But
Yeah.
like I feel like that's all theoretical. I think everything we talk about is theoretical, and
Yeah.
the product that we've seen on the floor so far, and I think we can all agree that this is the floor. If this is the floor, we're in a good fucking spot.
Good job. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the starting five, like KP's missed what 4 games. He came back last night.
Yep.
We're 11-1 with the starting five, the intended starting five.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And Al Horford looks 26 again. You know what I mean?
Indeed. Yep.
Hopefully, he can find that flow on the bench.
Yo, for real.
Because as a starter, he was clearly like still great.
Yeah.
And Derek White too.
Ooh,
Man,
Derek.
Derek White, man.
Him,
Way to
bro.
go.
He's him, bro. I mean, yeah,
Yo.
I think I don't know. Like you said earlier, man, this team is giving off the vibes. It's crazy. Like we 10-0 at home, man. I ain't trying to like jinx or anything, but we haven't been undefeated at home since the last time we won a championship. So
That's also been nice too. That because like I feel like home court hasn't been a thing for like a while.
Last 2-3 years.
Yeah, so it's like to see that be a thing now is pretty surprising because I wasn't sure why that was.
I will say, okay, I want to touch on this a little bit because I went to my first game this year last night. And I think you can. I don't know how many games you've been to, Kyle, last year, maybe, but Nathan, I think you can attest to this. The concerns about the crowd and last year, and when JB and the players called the crowd out. They were
Oh, yeah.
legitimate.
Yeah.
They were legitimate. Like there were last year when I went to the games that I went to, even in the playoffs, by the way, in the playoffs, there were a lot more people not watching the games and just kind of like just sitting on their phones. And not like going with the chants and shit. Like, let's go Celtics shit like that, just hyping up. There was a lot less of that last year.
Yeah.
Last night was actually really legit. Maybe not like, the jungle that we kind of gained the reputation for being, but like it felt like a legit Celtics game where everybody was cheering. We were saying fuck the refs, bullshit calls. Like shit got mad loud when JB got ejected. You know what I mean? That shit was not happening last year. And that that plays into home court, man. That really does.
I feel like I mean, obviously we're just speculating at this point, but I think the idea that like we were off the championship run essentially, and it was the next year, and everyone just assumed that it would be like a repeat of that.
Yeah,
just caused a lot of or grabbed a lot of fans that weren't fully invested, or truly invested into it, but rather just bandwagoning essentially.
Yeah.
And us not reaching there. Plus, obviously, like the addition of 2 new high profile players will bring those fans that truly love the Celtics to want to see them live.
That's true.
Is going to carry that energy for sure. So I think just both of those aspects have will definitely play a part.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Because last year, I feel like all the real fans and stuff is like, oh, we've seen this team play already. Like we kind of know what to expect from them. And it's like, all right, just going to be another Celtics game. Like nothing to look forward to. We should win or whatever. If they lose, they're just going to go off and oh yeah, we suck, this and that. And then I feel like this year though, it's just been completely different. Like you said, the additions of KP and Drew, and just a whole new dynamic, in my opinion. Kind of just it's a testament to the real fans coming out. Like, all right, we want to see KP, we want to see Drew, we want to see how this new team, builds and becomes a championship squad that we envision them to be. So, but yeah, the game I've been to, it's been rocking in there, man. Like off the rip too. Like first buckets, feels like a playoff atmosphere. So it's I'd be damned to be on the opposite team playing in the arena because shit, it'll be tough. But I mean, these guys are paid professionals for a reason. So
yeah. And like I said, we're becoming the jungle again. They started playing that song again too. I got mad hype when that happened. But okay, all right, this is a little off topic. No, it's on topic but off topic. All right, Netra, Kyle, I don't know if you haven't been to a game this year, but Netra, you've been to a couple games this year. Yo, did they change the fucking chant music? What the fuck is that shit?
Defense.
What the fuck is that shit? Yo, it made me not want to cheer, bro.
Man,
it made me not. Kyle, all right, to give you some reference, Kyle. Yo, you know how the defense goes? It's like they'll do the drums boom boom.
Yeah.
Dude, they'll do the boom boom and they'll add a little twang, like an EDM.
Yeah, like a little.
Yeah. And I'm just like, yo, y'all killing the vibe right now. What are you doing?
You can actually hear it on national broadcast.
Yeah, I feel
horrible, bro.
I gotta hear it. I feel like I haven't paid attention to it.
You gotta listen. Find a game when you start hearing the crowd chant defense. Yo, it gets so bad. And the "Let's Go Celtics" chants, you know how they'll be the trumpet or whatever.
Yep.
And then people will go, "Let's go Celtics." That shit sound like a fucking Godzilla movie now.
Yeah, bro, this is bad, bro.
I'm like, hey, yo, Celtics media team, you've been listening all year. You got rid of the old admin on Twitter because he did some terrible shit. Get rid of that music, please. You can play other music in between, the timeout and shit. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Find other ways to market, but do not change the chants because that makes me not want to yo, let's go Celtics.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact. I remember when I heard it in person live, I was like, bro, what is this?
I was confused, bro. I was like, is this
there's
for real?
No way he changes this.
That's bad.
And I think other people around me too was like, what the?
Yeah.
They didn't even say nothing.
Yeah, we was all looking at each other like, yo, is this for real?
Confused as fuck, bro.
A bad concert, man. Holy shit. Yeah, no. Okay, so but to get back on topic. No, this team, I think this team is really promising. I do think, like I said, we have legitimate concerns from past years. Right, I think it's valid to be concerned considering this is the same core for the most part. We added Drew and KP, but this is the same core at heart, right? It's all gonna come down to the Jays. I understand, the concerns with JB's dribbling. I understand, at times we've even seen it this year where Tatum becomes a little bit more passive.
Oh yeah,
Even if it's not like him being double team, triple team, like he's been really passive in the third quarters, and it kind of correlates to why we play so bad in the third quarters. Concerns are valid, and I think criticism is welcome, but you don't gotta be like a doomer and say, "Oh my God, we're never gonna win a championship." Like, yo, just play it out, man. I think the best way to enjoy a team like this, and I think you learn because like when you watch sports for this long, right? At the end of the day, if you're nitpicking every little thing for every little game, you're just not gonna have fun, man. Like just enjoy the ride, in my opinion.
Nah, I agree. I think Celtics fans are very reactionary.
Very.
And yeah, I mean it's justified because we've been there.
Yeah.
We're almost there for like very long, and newer fans are just kind of waiting for it to happen. Plus, I think it's just like the idea of there's been so many disappointing ends to the season that starting off that way is just easier than like getting your hopes up again.
Yep.
In some weird way, it's just like a safety precaution for their own self. Like it's not really that deep, but they're just starting off.
It's like
negative
protecting your feelings, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me either because I mean, technically, realistically, the Celtics haven't given us anything to be like, oh yeah.
No, for sure. I agree.
We got this for sure.
Most playoff wins since 2010 with like no championships to show for it. I get it, man. I get it. Like many sleepless nights, many fucking.
But it's just the experience, man. You don't gotta.
It is the experience.
It definitely takes away from the experience if you're always negative about it as well.
No, for sure. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like I said, I feel like I sound like a broken record at this point when I say this, but like I really do feel this team feels a lot more like when we had the OG Big Three, more than ever. Like I don't think I've had this feeling since then. So I'm very excited. I do think this is the floor of the team, and shit, man, I can't wait for the playoffs.
Playoffs will be fun.
I agree.
All right. Until next time, signing off.
Peace.